YouTube, what up? Listen, I need you guys to hear this. I need you to understand this. These girls are brainwashing y'all, son. They're really brainwashing y'all. Remember that old line, it ain't tricking if you got it, but you didn't know it, but you were still tricking because you had it? Look at y'all now. These girls are searching for y'all. Anybody that got some money that could pay for their lifestyle and take the burden off of them and put some more burden on you, you're tricking. It is what it is. But don't take my word for it. Listen to this clip.
They've rebranded the word trick to mean provider.
Tricking is providing?
If you look at what people look at as, oh, he's a provider, they really describing a trick. But they've rebranded it to where you have dudes who are proud tricks and they go, no, I'm a provider.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, nigga, you a trick.
Yeah, okay.
But she's rebranded that word, words, power. The power in the word is like, she's rebranded it. So now you look at a man paying for everything as a good thing, and it's like, you really tricking. Now, I'm not referring to you're taking care of your woman and your...
Yeah.
I'm talking about you got dudes who just buying random hoes bags. He's buying random hoes stuff. It's like, you're really a trick.
Yeah.
But they reward you by telling you, oh yeah, he's a provider, he's a this.
Now you tell me, where's the reward in tricking off on a chick that you don't even know? But like you said, we ain't talking about your wife, somebody you've been with for a while. We're talking about the random chick on the street that wants you to pay all her bills, wants you to pay for her just to have a conversation with her. Why do you think y'all not tricking? Y'all have been tricking for a long time that y'all been blinded by what the hell y'all doing. It's still tricking. If you don't know this chick from a can of paint, like they say, and you buying her stuff, and she's accepting it, first of all, you a laughing stock because they're going to talk about you when you're done. And furthermore, if you're taking her out to eat, because I notice a lot of these chicks, if you go online and you look at their profiles, they have two things in common. They like to travel and they like to eat. And if you're paying for them, you're a goddamn trick. Doesn't matter. You ain't know them long enough and you spending money and that's your way of spending money. Why do you think they defend the tricks? Why do you think they defend y'all so hard? And they say, oh, stop calling these rich men simps and tricks and all this kind of stuff using the word provider. Listen, providing for someone that you don't know, that you didn't get to know, that's not your woman, straight up tricking. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'm gonna need y'all guys to wake up. Y'all guys out here simping on these chicks, spending your money on these chicks, taking L's to these chicks. They're gonna defend y'all because y'all spending money on them. But as soon as you lose that money, guess what? You lost that chick.
My nigga.
So I did a video on December 15th that was labeled, Men That Do 50-50 Aren't Real Men. And yes, this girl, she's back and she has more to say on this 50-50 topic.
The way these 50-50 men are so mad under my comments in my last video, y'all have a couple things in common, and let me tell you what it is. It's giving insecure. It's giving I don't know how to get up as a man and make money. It's giving I think I'm equal to a woman.
Let me stop her right there. Two things. Number one, a man doesn't know how to get up and make money. Sweetheart, if he has a family, he's already working. What you want him to do? Take on a second job so that he's not home for his family? Just because you don't feel like you want to work? And number two, you already know we're not equal to women. Men and women are not equal. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you should be able to do your job just as well as I do mine. We all play a role in a household because it's all about the household, not the individual.
Listen again. It's giving I think I'm equal to a woman. Men and women will never be equal. I don't care what this world says, and I don't care what's happening in this world. We will never be equal. There's things we can do as women that you can't do. There's things that you can do as a man that we can't do. And the way y'all are nagging and complaining is giving female energy. You will always be a 50-50 man until you realize that men and women are not equal. We are not equal, and we will never be equal.
Listen, ma'am, miss, you got it all twisted. We're not nagging and complaining. What we're really doing is explaining. You're not understanding how this situation really works. Okay? 50-50 is not a negative thing. That's number one. Number two, there's no feminine energy coming from these men. There's masculine energy coming from you. There's also that manipulative energy also coming from you. If you think, as a man, the only way he provides is if he pays for everything, let me just say something in short so we can get back to this last part of your clip. Men will always be providers. You might not like what they provide, but they will always be providers. Take that what you will.
And the men who don't do 50-50, they understand that they are not equal to their wife, and they understand that they should be providing for their family. Because who's going to raise your kids? Daycare? I'm not having daycare raise my kids or anyone else raise my kids. I'm going to be raising my kids as a mom. You know what it is? Y'all 50-50 men, this is what it is. This is exactly what it is. Y'all sitting here nagging and complaining about being able to provide for your family, your wife, and your kids. Your kids. You are just lazy, insecure, and selfish.
How is a working man lazy, insecure, and selfish if he's friggin' working? What you want him to do? Break his back with a second job to take care of the household? If he does that, then he won't be home and take care of the kids. So your math ain't mathin', miss. Ain't nobody nagging and complaining. And once again, we trying to explain, but y'all not understanding. It takes two. Two. If two people made that kid, why should it be solely upon the one to take care of the household? Y'all could work that out. Daycare is just a place where you drop them off. It's like school. So daycare doesn't raise your kids. You raise your kids. If daycare's raising your kids, then you have a problem. And you're sounding real bitter when you're talking about it. You sound real upset. We're not upset about that. If we're upset about anything, is that you don't understand how 50-50 works. And 50-50 is not a negative thing. And 50-50 is not 50-50. The numbers can vary by who makes what kind of money. But for you to want to put the whole weight of the world on one person's shoulders, hell, y'all can't take the weight on y'all shoulders, but you want to put it all on us. As if we don't have enough on our shoulders already. Y'all supposed to make it easier on us. Those provider men you talk about, okay, their assignment is what they chose for theirs to be their assignment. There's no putting no negative effects on the 50-50 men, because it's not negative. It's to make it easier on both parties. The provider, some of them dudes are providing for the wrong freaking person. They don't even know it yet. Some of them might find out, some of them might not. But your girls get up here talking about, oh, this man's paying for everything, taking care of the kids, and y'all put that man in a negative light. So who's negative and who's positive? The provider or the 50-50 man? Because according to her, the 50-50 man is doing it wrong. But in other videos, the provider is definitely doing it wrong. So, I mean, pick a struggle here, because clearly the women are separated by too many factors in too many situations with too many scenarios to get this shit right. Bottom line, 50-50 is not a negative thing, and there are people that can tell you about that. And guess what? They're women too. But I bet y'all attack them, call them pick-me's, make up names for them, and tear them down. Well, let's get into the last part of this so we can just finish this whole thing off, because she got some extra that she wants to put out there.
And for those of you men saying, oh, what are you going to do when your husband leaves you and blah, blah, blah? Sir, I have a whole master's degree and a career that I can run back to at any time. A 401k plan. I have a lot of things in place, okay? So you think that these women are just uneducated women with men who help them provide for their family, their kids? You are sadly mistaken, and I don't know who raised you. But then again, that's why you're a 50-50 man, because you don't understand these things.
So now you done put your ass out there, because now you're making it sound like you a user. Because listen to what you said. If we think y'all women are uneducated, y'all have stuff to fall back on, well, check this out. Why are you not using it to take care of the household? Why are you not using it to help? Why are you not using it to make lives easier? A lot of you women go out there and get all these degrees and you don't even work in the field that you got the degree in. So all you did was go to college to get these degrees, go to these schools to get these degrees, just to come out in debt and not even in that field. And then y'all sit there and talk shit on these damn platforms and talk about men ain't this, men ain't that, like she's doing here. A working man is not a lazy man. He shouldn't have to work 2 jobs to take care of 1 household with 2 able-bodied people. That just makes no sense. And you talk about the provider. Y'all women love using that word provider. Every man can provide. You might not like it, what he gives you, but every man, or most men I should say, can provide. But you, miss, what are you providing? You're supposed to provide something too, and don't just say, oh, the kids, I want to raise the kids, I'm going to be a mom to my kids. You know what? Dad wants to be a dad to his kids too. But you see, that's another problem. The women don't care about these men. They don't even care about y'all men. The fact that you'd want your man to be out there breaking his back for the household shows who you really are. Now, I don't know her status, but after watching her clips, if she has a man in her life, he need to rethink who he with, if that's her real mentality. But then again, you know, some of these women get up here and they talk bitter and they talk all this stuff, and then when they get off the camera, they about to go give that man that half of the darn rent. So y'all really need to stop, man. Y'all really need to stop. Either you understand the concept that works for people, will be 50-50 or any number from that to 100, or the provider man, who, if he wants to provide, that's on him, that's on his terms, he can do that, great. But every man's not going to sit out here and think that he's going to hold down a whole household with an able-bodied adult next to him. Y'all get up here and y'all raise these kids. You tell these kids when they get older they're going to have to work, but now you don't even follow suit in what you say. Now you the adult, now you want to fall back and be a kid and not work. There are working people out here now who raise kids and raise them well. And daycare is just like school. Daycare don't raise your kids. See, her math, when I listen to her stuff, it don't math. It don't add up. She just sounds like another one of these bitter females that be out here getting on these platforms, talking a bunch of smack, and then when the reality check hits them, their ego gets crushed. Now they gotta come back and say something. Listen, bottom line here is this. If provider works for some, great. You got one, excellent. He's no more of a man than a 50-50 man. They're all men. They provide differently, but they all provide. So you want a provider? You go right ahead and find yourself one. Good luck, miss. If you have one, great. I'm happy for you. But for other people out here that want to do things to make it easier on the other person, 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, or even 90-10 works for them. And they should not be ridiculed by some woman like you getting up on these platforms trying to make it look like it's negative, and it's not. We're not taking the separation amongst us men. We're not gonna let you do it. Matter of fact, I need to head over to TikTok because I think I need to stitch that first video she did and this new one here too and express myself and join that group of men who she say is nagging and whining and complaining, instead of us just telling you how it is and explaining and you understanding and accepting the fact that in the world we live in now, it takes two.